Alright, welcome to Save Plays. I am playing The Outer Worlds again. And I'm going to continue. This is episode 5. And level 7. I've played maybe 8 hours, I think. Something like that. And we just got into orbit last episode. And I stopped at the end of that. Now we get to use this. Where are we going? Groundbreaker. Independent orbital station in the remains of Halcyon's first colony ship. Okay. Groundbreaker docking base.
We've arrived.
Welcome to the system map.
Enter the groundbreaker.
Have I docked with it? A lot of dust particles on my
Got a
ship.
sec? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson.
What about her?
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Sure, we can head over to engineering now.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Break time's over. That's amusing how they put the UN. Can I have both of them? Yeah, I can have both of them. That's pretty neat.
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by.
Captain. Hey, Captain. I'm in space. I never thought I'd be able to say that. Where are we headed?
We'll talk later. I don't want her to head back to the ship.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. I need a trick.
Okay. What did you do?
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
I noticed you were in the middle of an argument earlier.
Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs.
I'd like to hear your side. What happened?
I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a spacer's chosen man, though. So when the chosen beat my rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
And that's when you resolved your differences like an adult, right?
That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation.
Got any plans?
Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
That's me, Captain of the Unreliable.
Captain of the Unreliable. You're like something out of a serial drama. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
I never caught your name. I'm Cassie.
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
See you around, Felix.
See you around, boss.
Carry on.
Okay. Stevedore.
Gonna head to Vera's for whiskey and darts. Maybe not in that order.
See, they're tempting me now. Anyone have a real name? My arm just twitched.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Hello.
Identification, please.
Okay.
Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
How do I get this resolved?
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
Any idea why my ship was impounded?
Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important.
Great, I'll talk to him and straighten this out.
You take the starch out of him, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor?
Sure.
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Her shipment?
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
Got it.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Looking for someone named Gladys.
The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
What can you tell me about Udom Bedford?
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison.
So there's tension between Groundbreaker and the board.
They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
Yet your station's in a state of disrepair. You could make the board fix it.
You mean the heat? Sure, we could make them fix it. But what would they do in retaliation? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. So far, anyway.
The board runs most of the system, don't they?
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing base. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year.
Thanks for the info.
Sure thing.
I'm looking for a drink. Any recommendations?
Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right.
Got it.
If you need anything else, you let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony.
Can I find a job around here?
Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. Two biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
Looking for something a
Commandant
little more
Sanita might have a
local.
couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
Got it, thanks.
Happy to help. That's my job, after all.
You're real good at it, too.
Well, thank you, miss. It's nice to be recognized. Yep.
Can we move this along? I have a certain, matter I'd like to attend to, Captain.
How does Halcyon Holdings work anyway?
Are you pulling my leg?
I'm new around
You
here.
must be one of them long-haul freighters from outside the colony. Well, I won't hold it against you. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board.
So there's actually
Sitting
a
around
boardroom
drinking
with all
whiskey
these
and
companies
smoking
heading
cigars,
in it?
yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself.
How does Groundbreaker fit into that?
Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are.
Got it.
Glad to help.
What do you know about Sublight Salvage?
They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them.
That's all I needed to know about work.
All right.
See you around.
Be seeing you.
That was a lot of information.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures register to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
Why are you way back there?
As always, I am at your disposal. Anything you'd like to discuss?
Let's talk about this personal quest of yours.
Yes, well, now that we're here, can we check in with security? I'd like to track down that Scholar.
That's the plan.
Are we gonna get in trouble today? Not that I want to, just seems to happen around you, is all.
We'll talk later.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Who told you that? Graham?
Asshole.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Cozy.
The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Mars.
How do I get down there? Is this a door? It is. Whoa. Hello.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Free nuts in it. It's time for a KYO.
Nice.
When might we expect you out here again? Canned surfish is already sold out again.
Who knows? Halls are scarce. Back in Triangulum, there were hundreds of space hands idle.
I heard piracy was up some around Halcyon, but I didn't think it was that bad.
I heard there's been a rash of conveyor losses on all routes.
Gladys is through here.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
Can we? This one's taken. We're going back down.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient or an oven. Just like store-bought.
Phineas sent me, he said you could sell me a nav key to Stellar Bay.
Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key, and they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in.
10,000 bits? No one's ever found my bits lacking.
Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his prime, did he tell you? Real light on his feet.
Oh, I pushed the wrong
Real
button.
light in the wallet, too. He still owes me a small fortune. Laws. Maybe I should charge you double.
Tell me about this opportunity.
Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms...
No qualms here, let's hear the details.
Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago.
Why was Roseway abandoned?
Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around.
Maybe it's some sort of automated message.
Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide.
If it's a corporate town with something to hide, why the SOS?
Maybe whatever they're hiding went to heck, and now they need a few spare hands to clean up the mess. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs.
So you need someone to snoop around for you?
My goodness, aren't you quick on the uptake? I like that. Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secrets, well, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies.
You can count on me.
Law bless your Adams. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done.
What other jobs do you know about?
Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar.
Let's see what you've got
I
for
found
sale.
a handsome ceramic mandapillar at a salvage auction last week.
How many bits do I have? 137, and I need 10,000. Junk. Sell junk. Okay, now I have 2,000. I don't know if I want to get rid of anything else. Not to sell, at least.
Something you need?
Is this not the door? Help, I'm stuck. Oh. I knew that. What are you? I want one of you.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local manager about applying for military training and lend your life to protecting our wonderful brands and products. Military service does not guarantee full employment rights, tax breaks, military discount, health benefits, military burial, participation medal, training, or weapon. You've been listening to Halcyon News, your mandated duty as a good citizen of Halcyon.
Right. Requires rest and go keycard. Spacer's choice. Yeah.
Are
Medical
you
bay.
listening to me, Emfuru? You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene. I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Emfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jessie in the first place.
What's this about your friend?
Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors.
But you don't even like her, but you're checking on her?
You say that like it's weird.
It's none of my business, I was just curious.
I just don't like to leave a debt unpaid, that's all.
Maybe I can look in on Jessie.
Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be impressed.
Something I can help you with?
I'd like to see Jessie Doyle.
If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. I'll tell you what I've told the others. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. The requests of our patients are paramount, so no, you may not see her.
The records say? Have you actually spoken to her yourself?
She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records, if that's what you're implying.
Can I buy supplies from you? You seem well stocked.
Not without dispensation from Chief Junlei, I fear. Supplies are hard to come by out here.
How do you mean?
We don't have the ability to manufacture our own medical supplies here on Groundbreaker. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics, as well as more critical resources like adequately trained staff. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's simply not tenable.
See you around.
Take care.
Where are we headed? Good luck getting to Jessie, and better luck if you do. It's a real piece of work. Can't say I've seen you before.
I take it you're a freighter, Captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service.
Wheeler says your shipment won't be coming in soon.
He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate.
Who's Irion?
Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits.
What do you need mechanicals
Surgery
for?
mostly. Medical personnel are difficult to come by on Groundbreaker.
Why is that?
The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their people, we can't hire anyone. Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only 2 heads between us, and we don't know everything.
I can try to find him.
I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring type. You look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws.
Okay. We've got a restricted access thing. Who are you? And Sick Marde. Quarantine. You'll be automatically disguised when entering the associated restricted area. Okay. Save it and see what happens. Unauthorized personnel in restricted areas will be shot on sight without question. You can either fight, sneak, or use a holographic shroud to get through restricted areas. Post-mortem fines will be paid to the closest living relative.
Here
This might be tough.
I don't know how to use the shroud. How do I use the shroud? Oh, there's a codex. Interesting. What is he set to? Dialogue skills, okay. Auto support hack. Apply. Okay. What does Z do?
Yep, be right over.
Okay, those are just command stuff. That's not right. Controls. Key bindings. I don't see anything.
Keep him quiet, Cap. Here they come!
Stay sharp. This is going to be difficult.
This is bad!
Well, that didn't work out right. I'm gonna look it up. Outer Worlds, how to use holographic thingy. Shroud. It's supposed to work automatically. So apparently that shroud is not for this area. How can I tell what area it's for? Where does it show my shroud? Okay. I don't know how to tell where it'll work. It's certainly not in here.
Still haven't found a good way to get the blood out from under my nails.
Wear gloves. Waste disposal. Oh, pretty. my ship. Anyone seen Private Taylor? Nothing interesting. Alternative route, public notices, food situation. Wow, things are pretty bad here.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs are board property. Disperse now, or I'll detain you for trespassing.
Oh, real scary. You're really gonna arrest us on our station?
Yeah, this is Chief Junlei's ship. You don't own shit here.
Step back! I'm required by board bylaws to use excessive force.
The Mardettes would space you for trying, you waste of O2 scrubbers.
Yeah, O2 scrubbers.
Look, just get out of here before I tell your captain what you've been getting up to on the clock.
Ah, whatever. We got a date at the Lost Hope anyway.
Is this really what you want to be doing with your life, Marcy? Guarding stairs for that walking mustache Udon fucking Bedford? I gotta get off this detail.
Yeah. Right there.
Ah, the board. Organized, efficient, competent. Well, mostly.
I think everything in here is worth more than I made in my whole life.
Scheduled to air soon, but a scandal.
Something you need?
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts?
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer?
Oh. Alex is dead.
Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped?
Sorry for your loss.
Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have.
What was your relationship with him?
He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. did he?
Lie. Yep, he sure did.
Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man. Tell me, how did he die?
Oh, God. He was eaten alive by feral canids.
No! How dreadful. That was always Alex's greatest fear, you know. Devoured by those fiends. Becoming one with their droppings.
Again, I'm very sorry. Can we get back to the topic at hand?
Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all?
Alex never mentioned Phineas Wells.
That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with?
What's this about the board having your head?
It's personal business, I'm afraid. Miserably, terribly personal.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's... well, it's my white whale, I suppose.
I can't tell you where Wells is.
It's fine. Really, it's perfectly fine. I understand. Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out. I'd like to drown myself in work.
We're leaving. Goodbye.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
No. Can I talk to you?
Hearty greeting, potential customer. Welcome to Auntie's Kitchen, a home-style consumable protein dispensary. May this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion.
Let's see what you've got.
Beginning dispensing sequence. Please unblock all relevant facial protein ingestion tubes.
This is the door. This must be engineering.
Those XF411s? And an old Yakita 37? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of...
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sub-level.
I could spend all day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff. It's all pretty worn, though.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors.
Cassie, nice place you got here, Chief.
No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting.
I'll do whatever I can to help you keep the peace.
Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through.
Now that my ship's out of impound, I can safely say I'm headed for Monarch.
Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
Parvati, you wanted to talk to Junli? Go ahead.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Nudge Parvati to continue.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Silently encourage Parvati.
Wow, great! I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry.
Whisper, nice job, Parvati.
Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention.
What's it like being in command around here?
Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life or death decisions on a shoestring budget. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would understand.
This ship is a family business?
Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gayan, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. Then I took the leap from chief engineer to captain.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know, I mean, which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer.
Condolences, Junlei. I'm sure those were big shoes to fill.
Appreciate it. There wasn't much that took me by surprise about the job, but the little things you never expect or think about, they add up over time. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got tinkerings and bypasses that only Tennysons know about.
Parvati here could always help you shoulder the burden.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really just a dab hand with a wrench. Nothing special. Not like a chief engineer.
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just someone who knows how a ship ought to feel. We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducts and panels, we could work something out.
Where's the self-destruct mechanism? Back to my other questions.
You've got my attention.
It seems kind of warm in here. What's going on?
Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship.
I'm sure your capable staff can stay ahead of the problem.
My engineers have managed to keep the heat to livable levels, but all the fixes are temporary. This wound is bound to fester. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner.
Surely the board doesn't want Groundbreaker to roast.
They want us to sweat, thinking that'll soften me up for a bad faith deal. If you'll excuse me, they can go fuck themselves. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard, will be cooked alive.
Intelligence, you need a contractor to work this out. I'm available for a reasonable rate.
Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays.
But there's a catch, right?
The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now.
I get the parts for
Good.
the back bays.
Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs.
Something you need?
What was that about back at Junlei's?
Well, I didn't expect her to be so tall. And did you see the size of her arms?
It sounds like you have a crush on her.
What? No. Maybe? I don't... It's like somebody reached into my head and pulled out what I didn't know I wanted. You know how hard it is to find anybody who likes working with tools in a little town like Edgewater?
Sounds like you're not sure how you feel.
I just met her. How could I be? All I know is I want to talk with her more. Did you see how everybody on Groundbreaker listens to Junlei? She's just, here's how to fix it. And they trust her. It's just... she's calm and knows what to do. I wish I was half so confident.
Level up. I definitely like having dialogue up there. I'm getting close to max with hacking. I think the max is 50. Or it says 100 here, but... Tech. Go for 3 and 1 into leadership again. Gotta keep my medical going, I guess. My engineering. Why did I get a new perk this level? Let's see. Additional ammo stock on vendors. 25% walk speed. %50 base health. Let's do 50% base health. Cat, don't do that. It's interesting that deserters have a negative reputation and positive reputation. Quick save because I leveled.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. And now for a special word from Chairman Rockwell.
Greetings, hard-working citizens of Halcyon. In these profitable times...
She got on the shelf and is meowing now. What quest do I want to do? Oh, I know why the holographic shroud didn't work. I don't actually have the device yet. I just picked up a cartridge for it. I don't actually have the device. New parts for the radiator. I want some action right now. Salvage parts. Transition to the back base.
Who there? Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king.
Parley with the king.
Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flames. It's nothing personal. Promise.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is too well ventilated.
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to be murdered by a psychopath who plays with fire.
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out, but only room for one captain.
Persuade 40. Put that down before you incinerate the entire deck.
I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me. Keep talking. I like the sound of your voice.
I'm here for some parts Junlei sent me.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even know we were here.
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back, with the crew.
So I can grab that part then?
You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. You bring tribute, sacrifices, prophecy, shit like that.
Fine, here's 628 bits.
Tribute it is. And ain't this just a royal sum?
Don't we need those bits, Captain? To buy the key from the lady?
Yeah,
the principles of the
we do.
universe dictate that sometimes we must appease others to keep from being roasted alive.
You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs you'll find the parts. My crew won't get in your way.
There was something else?
Lay it on me, boss. I'm good for it.
How did you end up back here?
Ship got impounded. The crew and I racked up a debt while we were grounded, and my baby got sold to Sublight. Scrapped for parts. That's bureaucracy for you. Piracy with a smile.
Sounds a lot like what happened to me.
Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting old. Stay here too long, and the groundbreaker drains you like a fuel tank.
Be seeing you.
You can come and go in my little kingdom. Just try not to piss off any of the gestures.
Even the proverbial unwashed masses would turn their noses up at this place.
You get that
Cut them
automated,
off.
man. Fred wants it up and running.
I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake it up.
Don't give it a name. What are you thinking? It hasn't got a heart? Not like us.
It's so cozy.
Yeah, cozy, that's a good word. upstairs? How do I get upstairs? Or is it downstairs? I should have attacked him. That would have been fun.
You're the first person I've seen who talked their way past McRed. It may not sound like much, but take my word for it. Wow.
What brings you back to the back bays?
Junlei sent me down to collect the parts we need to fix the radiators. McRed got me all distracted sucking fumes and talking about the cosmos.
Youth these days have no principles.
I can't tell if you brought friends or if I'm still seeing things, so maybe I ought to lay off the fumes and head back to work.
You're probably better off up in engineering than down here with the outlaws.
I'll get back to my post. See you topside, stranger.
I want to steal this stuff.
McRed gave me a taste of the good stuff.
Oh, I passed it.
Crazy cosmos.
Wake up. There's no such thing as pizza. It's all open-faced pasta.
You've been getting into the boss's special stash again, haven't you?
Radiator parts.
Claire's gonna be pleased as pie when we show her these.
Well, there wasn't any action, but it was interesting. I did need those bits, though. That is a shame.
This is Halcyon News.
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed.
I got the parts for the radiator. What now?
Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight mantipillar infestation.
Define slight.
More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radiators, and here we are.
I'll make my way down there.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about. I mean, aside from fires and such.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, huh?
Where is the Vicar? Did he get lost? Where did he... Oh, there he is. Where do I go? Down this? Maybe? the ladder, up the ladder.
Good news? Song tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of men. Bad news. So they're not too picky about who they kill next. Shoot fast if you can. Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
Well, we shot. We're going back to loot.
I'll keep quiet.
He throws away bits. Turn around.
That's the last of them.
I stopped crouching. Okay, you get it.
All together.
Down they go.
I wonder if those were friendly. Probably not. How'd you get down there? Dummy. I saw him hit an explosive barrel with his bat.
That's the terminal. I have the parts in position on my side. Go ahead and cycle the droplet pumps.
Cycle droplet pumps. Reminder, non-expendable personnel must exit the maintenance shaft before activating the cycling protocol. Cycling successful.
Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you things.
That's this.
Ground news.
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts, but you're all right. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I'd also authorize Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.
Cool. You don't have a lot of faith in the board.
You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong.
How do you keep the board at a safe distance?
I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fees in my lifetime. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. I'd like to see that change.
You must not like Udon Bedford very much.
I like to think of myself as a nice person, but if that gaudy embassy of his was on fire, I might hold my breath a moment before activating the sprinkler system. The board wants control over Groundbreaker, and leeches like Udon Bedford will do anything to please their corporate masters.
Back to my other questions.
You got my attention.
We'll be on our way. Do you have anything to say?
Groundbreaker's safe from melting to bits now. Lots of good people can rest easy because of you.
There you are.
As always, I am at your disposal. Anything you'd like to discuss? Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
Remind me, what are your thoughts on the Philosophists?
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the Philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
Okay. What quests do we have next? Oh, I forgot to find the 3 volumes for Thomas. Bounty board in the docking bay for work. Okay. Well, we got a couple things to do on the ship. I want to talk to Parvati on the ship.
That pad down there, with the lights off, there are people unloading a ship.
Probably another sublight contract haul.
Hey, you got a second?
Oh, hey, Felix.
Fancy running into you again. Don't mind me. It's just admiring your ship from up close. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Only thing it's missing is me.
You're pretty eager to throw in with somebody you barely know.
Yes, I absolutely am. Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could be the best damn crew you ever hired.
Alright, Felix, tell me why I should hire you.
You're serious, you're giving me a shot. Alright. Hang on. I put together a little speech, just in case you asked. Hey there, I'm Felix Millstone. I have prepared a list of reasons why I believe you should hire me to join the crew of your ship and/or outlaw gang.
Are you reading off your hand?
Yeah, it's a second draft. Firstly, I am highly personable, and I get along well with anyone who is not of the jackass persuasion.
I'm sorry. He's funny.
Secondly, I can be counted on in the event of a firefight, standoff, and/or raid. My motto is, if you need a steady gun hand, I'm your man. That motto is it's a work in progress.
Yeah, go ahead and keep
Additionally,
going.
I have several years of experience as a box hauler. This skill may come in handy if you need a body dragged away or a door held open while escaping enemy fire. In conclusion, thank you for considering me for your ship crew and/or outlaw gang. I look forward to our adventures together.
I thought that was real good, Felix.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. What do you think? Am I in?
I've heard enough. You're hired.
Wow. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that. Thanks, boss. You're not gonna regret this.
I'll see you back on the ship, Vicar Max.
Really? We're picking up strays now?
Yes, we are.
Look at that. A real vicar. I'm sure we'll get along like a church on fire.
So you only have 2 in the party.
Welcome back. Do wipe the blood and space dust from your feet in the entry bay. Thank you.
Where's Parvati? There you are.
Hey, Captain. Can I get your temperature on something real quick?
Sure.
So, Junlei and I have been talking some. Through messages. I got him here on my datapad, and well, she sent me a poem. One she wrote her own self, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I should read into it. Because poems are all symbolic and such, right? It's not so good. But real sweet.
Comes from the heart, you'd say?
Oh, law. That's what's got me spooked. I don't rightly know. It's about this engine that's been shaking itself apart. Then this lady mechanic comes by and lays one hand on it. The trouble goes away. It sings. I don't want to get too hopeful, but I'm wondering if maybe she's the engine and I'm the lady? It's a real romantic poem. Made my chest hurt, kinda.
Sounds like she likes you.
I don't know where it's leading yet, or if I'm misinterpreting. I'm not much interested in physical stuff. Never have been. Leastways not like other folks seem to be. It's not that I can't, I just don't care for it. It's been a problem in the past. The folk who wanted to be with me back in the Vale, they said I was cold.
You're about the warmest person I ever met. To hell with them.
Thanks, Captain. That makes me feel a touch better. I actually had another message from Junlei. I just couldn't work up the courage to open it. But I'm gonna change that. Right now. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Talking about old friends, got to thinking... Isabel? Who's Isabel?
Everything okay?
They were... close, Captain. Like, more than friends close.
perception? They were close, not anymore?
I don't know. Junlei talked about them like it was past, but how far in the past? 10 years? Last week? Captain, I'm feeling all mixed up right now. Could we maybe head to the Groundbreaker? Get some drinks at that bar there? The Lost Hope?
You said you don't drink. Will you be alright?
If you're there, I'm sure things will be okay. Like, I mean, you wouldn't let nothing bad happen to me, right? Thanks for asking, by the by. It means something to know you're looking out.
No perks this level. That was interesting. Oh, there's a holographic shroud. Messages for Cassie. One from Jay Tennyson. Return to route. That's the Pavarotti. Return to route. Messages for Alex Hawthorne. Hawthorne's unread message list from New Bedford. Udon Wingman's Wingman Bedford. Okay. Someone's archive messages from New Bedford. So Udom had a thing for him. Logs. Shrink ray. Interesting. So Wells might have a shrink ray. Acquire Phineas's science weapon. Acquire science weapon on Groundbreaker. Okay. Oh, bin. Is this my storage bin? I guess so. Let's put some mods in there. Ooh, what's this? Welder's goggles. Engineering 15. He's got a grenade launcher. Alright then. That sounds like it's gonna be trouble. This bonus to persuade, that sounds good. What was I looking for? Oh, I was gonna get Parvati the goggles. Did it change her appearance? Oh, now I can't take them off of her. That's so weird. Well, I've been playing for an hour and a half. I think that's a good length for an episode. I leveled a couple of times. I went on the Groundbreaker, which looks pretty cool. And got a lot of information about a few things. Didn't really do much combat this time, but that's okay. There's a lot more to this game than just combat, and I like that. But I'm going to stop the game here. And thank you for watching.